welcome. And before we get into the debacle that was last week's game, clearly I'm in a different setting. And I did a great job of keeping up with my channel in the past, didn't I? Just great job. Anyways, new setup actually looks somewhat appealing to the eyeball instead of me sitting in a corner of the chair. And I have also realized that for how much and how angry I get while I do this, I cannot do this sitting. So, boom, we're going to be standing for this. So, that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to be a little more consistent. We'll see if that actually fucking happens. But after, last week's game, there was no way I was going to stay quiet. So, yeah, let's get into this. So, in case you weren't aware, Denver lost 70-20. Should have been 73. But Mike McDaniels, the Dolphins head coach, decided to pity us and not take the record for the most points scored in the common era of the NFL. So, let's get into it. So, I don't even know where to start. This is so bad. Actually, the only bright spot, I can think of two bright spots for Denver for this game. One, surprisingly enough, Russell Wilson, for the most part. He had 306 passing yards with a touchdown, interception, and the QBR 66.9, and is what it is. And he took a sack for 12 yards, which is only for one sack for how shit this offensive line has been. I'll take it. So he actually really wasn't that bad. I mean, 306 passing yards is that's not terrible at all. 23 for 38 in completion. I don't even know what that percentage-wise is, probably like 60-something. But the bigger and more important positive that I'm taking away from this, and what has been noticeable the last few weeks, is that there's this guy called Marvin Mims Jr., a receiver we drafted, because I was thinking when Sean Payton decided to draft him that he was absolutely nuts for drafting a receiver when we had Courtland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Jerry Jeudy, and KJ Hamler. Well, he must have been looking at our past injuries because clearly he was looking into the future because Tim Patrick, once again, tore his ACL. He's out for the year. KJ Hamler came out with some weird-ass heart condition. He's gone. Actually signed with the Colts practice squad this week. So we're down to Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton. And Jeudy actually was out the first two games, but he's back now. So theoretically, all we've had so far is Courtland Sutton for the entire season. And this is where Marvin Mims comes up. And so far through, 2 or 3 games now that he's actually been, playing, he has been absolutely lighting it up. And he, in this game, had a whopping 3 receptions for 73 yards with a long of 38. That's the only problem I have with that is he had 3 receptions with 5 targets. Why is this guy who will second straight week in a row now was burning defenses and you keep him off the goddamn field? What? He's consistently, not consistently, I got 2 games. But 2 games he has shown that he can and will burn a defense. And Russell Wilson has clearly taken advantage of that. But he really won't put him on the field. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's pretty much where the positives end. Rushing was boring, bland, whatever you want to call it. Jonathan Williams had 42 yards, 11 carries, 3.8. Woo! Anyways, so that was pretty much that. Receiving, again, pretty boring. Courtland almost had a 100-yard game. Second week in a row, he had a touchdown. So that's pretty neat. But coming into this game, Russell Wilson was actually second in the league, or tied for second with the passing touchdowns with 5. I think only by Jordan Love at 6. But clearly he's not going to keep that up. There's no way he will. But anyways, then I guess we can get to the negatives, which is pretty much everything that Dolphins did to us is a negative. We've had 0 sacks. Tua went 23 for 26. I think he actually went 16-16 to start the game. 309, 4 touchdowns, 0 sacks. You know what's even worse than that? Mike White, hear that name? Remember that name? Yeah, he went 2 for 2 for 67 yards with a touchdown with a 100 QBR. Granted, only 2 passes. Can't really take anything from that. But he also had a perfect passer rating. Again, only 2 passes. But the Dolphins scored 10 goddamn touchdowns. Literally 10. You think, I wonder how many defensive touchdowns there were. 0. There wasn't a single defensive touchdown. the one interception, I mean, I can't watch these games. I live in goddamn New York, and, that was my dumbass mistake for picking a team all the way out on the other side of the country. But, he had the one pick. It wasn't even a return for a touchdown. They had 5 rushing touchdowns. 3 by Raheem Mostert, and another 2 by Devon Achane. Yes, Achane. There's a huge debate on Pat McAfee's show this week about it. Which, by the way, great show if you want to watch that. It is Achane and not a chain. It is Achane. So, that settles that debate. This guy's a rookie Achane. He had 203 yards of rushing. 2 touchdowns. I swear. I can't watch the game, so I watched Brandon Perna's stream. Nice Good Sports. He's got that good Broncos. Also, very awesome guy. Watch his stuff. And it just, I felt like every time, this is why I watch this podcast, I also have ESPN up on my computer, and with the live updates. And literally every time they rushed the ball, it felt like it went for 30 yards. Every goddamn time. Which, sounds pretty accurate since he averaged 11.3 yards a fucking carry. It was so painful. They just did whatever the fuck they wanted against us. I mean, if you just look at the freaking game itself, they scored 14 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 14 in the third, and with 2 out for basically the entire fourth quarter, the backup scored 21 points. I was sitting there like, is this hell ever going to end? But hey, the bright spot. See, we scored 20 points, right? One of them was a Russell Wilson touchdown. The other one was Marvin Mims returning a kickoff. Well, it had to be kickoff because I don't think they punted once. A kickoff return, 99 yards to the house, which was, I think we were down like 53, 56 or whatever at that point. So, don't really celebrate that much. Thank God this wasn't in Denver. If this game was in Denver, I don't even want to know what would have happened. But anyways, so they literally, like, I'm pretty sure, did they have any drives that ended in not points? Let's see here. Touchdown. Oh, downs. That's right. We did stop on 4th down once, our own territory, which we then proceeded to ruin by going negative 7 yards, right? We stopped on 4th down in our own territory. We're like on the 30 or 40 yard line in their territory. First play, penalty. Cool. Second play, or it wasn't really a play, but second, Russell Wilson to Cortland Sutton for a yard. Third time, Javonte Williams rushed for negative 3 yards. Cool. Fourth time, Russell Wilson, incomplete pass. And then we proceed to punt it on 4th and 17. We started at the Miami 33-yard line and ended the drive on the Miami 40-yard line. Now, granted, that would have been, I think, whatever the yardage line is, you had 17 yards for a field goal. So it would be theoretically a 57-yard field goal, which I don't know why they didn't trust Lutz to do that if it was that. But still, anyways, back to what I was trying to say. Cool. Touchdown. Nope. Touchdown. End of the half. Doesn't count. Touchdown. Punt. Oh, they did punt. We got 3 and out. Never mind. Touchdown. No, they downs because they kneeled it because they wanted to get the field goal. And that was it. So we stopped them on 2 drives. So, and they ended up being 70-20. So, also 70 points by the Dolphins is the most scored, obviously, in team history and the most scored in the NFL since 1966. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this, but all I do know is that we are 0-3. Clearly, the season's a loss because at the time I'm filming this is about a week after the game because the Bears played the Broncos today, which I'll get to that in a second. And George Payton was at the USC Colorado game, and I don't know how much college football you watch. But the top prospect in college football for quarterback for next year, who's going to be clearly the number 1 pick, is this guy, Caleb Williams. And as of right now, it's looking like Denver's going to be the front runner. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Denver actually has currently, in the draft, either the first pick or the second pick. Only second to the Bears if it is. Which is ironic because they play each other today. So they're just basically admitting by going to that game that they are just looking to the future at this point. Now this week, or today at this point, there are 4 teams in the NFL that have not lost, or have not won yet. Denver, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Panthers. And ironically enough, the Bears play the Broncos, and the Vikings and the Panthers play each other. I'm clearly the Vikings are going to win against the Panthers today. I'd be shocked if that went the other way. And then you got Denver and the Bears playing each other today. And one, it's in Chicago, which is even better. And two, if they lose this game today, I don't know what is going to happen in my next video when I talk about that. As much as I want them to win and see them win, I honestly want them to lose. In 8 years, what it's been, I've been following this team, I want them to lose because winning this game does absolutely nothing for them. Absolutely nothing. And honestly, I'd actually be very helpful for them in the draft to win to lose this game because clearly the Bears and Denver are probably fighting for the first pick most of the season, which in having a loss over the Bears will help immensely with the draft and getting him. Because if they don't get him, the next option is Drake May. And I don't know much about that guy from North Carolina. I don't really know anything about him, which worries me. So, I don't know where the rest of the season's going. Obviously, nobody saw this happening the way it's happening. And obviously, Vance Joseph needs to go. Clearly, I don't know why they brought him back. Because I guess apparently last year he had a pretty good team with the Cardinals. But he's been terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible so far. I mean, they've given up 122 points in 3 games. That's like you're over 40 points allowed a game. Denver's strength for the longest time, during this entire rebuild, terrible time since they won Super Bowl in 2016, their defense has always been great. Always been top 5. And we're dead last. I looked the other day. We're dead last in almost every defensive category. Obviously, points, yards, and all that nonsense we are because they let up 760-something fucking yards of offense. So, yeah. I don't know where this is going or what's going to happen, but all I know is that this season is lost 3 games in, and I mean, kudos to the Dolphins. 70 points, that's not easy to do. Because usually by the time you get 40, you stop. Which also pissed me off. They kept 2 in it for so long. They couldn't easily take them out basically at halftime when they were up 35-10, I think it was. So, but yeah, that's my rant for this week. We'll see how much worse it can get after today's game against the Bears. But I'm going to hopefully not lose my shit. So, anyways, I didn't break anything. Nothing fell off the wall today. So clearly I didn't get all that upset. Or at least I just held it in. But that is it for today. And I will now go suffer through a Bears game. Peace.